The Big Ten is 4-0 in the tournament so far. Big East 3-0. SEC is 4-3. You have the ACC at 1-2. Mountain West at 0-2. You know, this is where you have the turf war about whose conference is better. Does this help with North Carolina that, hey, you know, look at the schedule we played, and then all of a sudden you go, you lost to Clemson, and Clemson just lost to McNeese State. Although McNeese State, they were far quicker. You saw that in the first half. And then all of a sudden Clemson started to come to life, down 10 late, came back to close it to 2, and ended up losing. And, you know, you have McNeese State's coach, who is already going to move on and take another job at NC State. And we were talking about this when a coach says, you know, I hate to see a coach when he has to lie. When Roy Williams was at Kansas and everybody knew he was going to North Carolina, but he couldn't say, hey, I don't want to take away from my kids. I just want to focus on the game. I get it. But, you know, in this day and age, it feels like everybody is coming or going. Players, coaches, and at least with Will Wade, who was at LSU before he got caught up in a scandal, has done a really good job at McNeese State. And he's taking another job, but he's staying on to coach the team, probably taking some players with him when he goes to NC State. It's just the landscape. It's not fair. Players want to transfer. This is basically coaches transferring. It's a coaching transfer portal, but he's at least up front with, you know, the fan base, his players. Let's make something happen here in the tournament. Yes, Eaton.
Yeah, I mean, I think I love that. It's the idea of being up front and being like, you know, at the end of this year, I'm out. If this goes well, I'm going to leave this year, and maybe a couple of you guys come with me, but why don't we go try and get one? Why don't we try to make a run? I love that.
Well, you have players who are going to be leaving that are playing in the tournament, and he's just at least there's transparency that, yes, I am leaving. Now, the school could have said, hey, we don't want you to coach our team. You know, you go back to Bill Frieder at Michigan, if you're old enough to remember. He was going to, I think, Arizona State, and then I think Bo Schembechler was the AD, and he said, no, I want a Michigan man coaching our team. And so Bill Frieder went to Arizona State. Yes, Seton.
That's why, like, so much of this sometimes in sports becomes we're just sort of waiting for the right cliched answer, and then we check the box and be like, that's what you're supposed to say. Good job. You handled that right. I hated the coach. Come on, guys. We're just trying to focus on the game here, okay? It's just the right time and place for this. Where coaches, knowing they're leaving, would throw it back on the media and be like, how dare you? Shame on you for even asking the question. This is not the time or place. Like, dude, like, you're lying to it. Everybody knows you're lying to us. And then we would be like, oh, see, he handled it right. That's what you're supposed to do. It's crazy.
Arkansas knocked off Kansas. So John Calipari, first year at Arkansas. And that ends Kansas's NCAA record streak of 17 consecutive wins in the round of 64. Here's one for you, though. Kansas is the first preseason number one to lose in the round of 64 since Kansas in 2005.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day. This is the stat of the day.
Brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of this program. So that sets up the Rick Pitino facing John Calipari matchup, and these two don't always see eye to eye. Here's Pitino, St. John's head coach, on facing John Calipari.
I've always had great respect for John. I've always said I told our team, we have not seen this type of size and this type of athleticism all year. We have not seen that. Creighton has a 7'2" center, but they have multiple guys. Athleticism-wise, we haven't seen this year. So we know what we're up against, obviously. They had a lot of injuries. That's why they opened up 0-5. But they got it together right now. And I don't know where they finished in the SEC, 8th, 9th in the SEC. But if they finished 8th and 9th, what I watched today, I'm glad we're not in the SEC, because the talent level in that conference is amazing to me.
All right. So everybody's playing nice right now, but I'm sure that you'll get, and maybe John Calipari will talk about their relationship. And I don't know like when it went sideways between these two, but, it feels like competition, coaching at Kentucky. John's done a nice job at Arkansas. And Pitino, of course, is doing Pitino-like things at St. John's. Some of the matchups today, I'm interested in Maryland versus Grand Canyon. And you're probably going to say, why? Well, Grand Canyon's a good team, and they're facing a Maryland team that I think has as good a starting five as just about anybody except for Duke and Florida. But then there's like this subcurrent, this undercurrent here going on between the Maryland head coach and his athletic director. Kevin Willard is the Maryland head coach, and he's not happy with what's going on at Maryland.
I need to see fundamental changes done. I want this program to be great. I want it to be the best in the country. I want to win a national championship, but there's things that need to change. When you're at a place for 3 years and you put your heart and soul into it, you kind of sit there and say, okay, wait a second, for us to be really successful, X, Y, and Z needs to change. And first and foremost, I need to make sure that we are where we are with NIL, and I can do the things that I want to do with my program. I wanted to spend an extra night in New York this year to celebrate Christmas with my team, and I was told that we can't do that because it's too expensive. So I don't know how we can be a top-tier program and I can't spend one extra night in New York because it's too expensive.
Okay, now there's other things going on. You've got Kevin Willard, who has been reportedly linked to taking the Villanova job. And then you have Maryland's athletic director, Damon Evans, according to ESPN, is the potential primary target to become the athletic director at SMU. So you have two guys who could be headed elsewhere, and well, it sounds like the athletic director is leaving, and maybe the head coach is leaving as well. Other than that, let's go out and play some good basketball. Come on in here. Let's get in here. Ready, break. Poll question today, Seton. What are we going to go with?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Kevin Willard, he certainly understands leverage, doesn't he? Holy smokes.
I don't know if I'm him and you got that much of a problem at Maryland and you're voicing that. Do you voice it if you're leaving, or do you voice it to let people know why you left? And it might be a preemptive strike there where you're like, hey, try to do the best I could. I can't keep up with these other schools. They're killing us with NIL. They probably get to spend an extra night in New York at Christmas time. Yes, Eden.
Yeah, he's either getting himself a new deal, or and getting all the money that he wants, or he's setting the stage for why he's on his way out. Yeah, those are like the two options.
And Villanova, after Jay Wright left, back-to-back non-tournament teams, and so Kevin Willard might be leaving Maryland whenever that tournament run ends, and then going to Villanova.